Hello again, my name is Panu and this channel is all about building and designing a cruising sailboat, and we're just about to start this project by doing the most essential tool that I need for making it just a bit more easy, and it's this thing right here. This is the frame for the CNC router, and you can maybe see how huge it actually is. It's taller than me, and this is just the width, and the length is about 3.4 meters. Idea here, of course, is that I can fit a full-size plywood sheet on this machine. Before Christmas, we started to weld this together, and it's basically done here now. All the parts for the table are in, and also these beams here are welded. It's 3 o'clock and the sun is about to set. It's beautiful though. Here is all the materials for the CNC table. These are the frame. These are the pieces where the rails and the rack are going to be, and looking good so far. So we started to assemble from the frame, and although the room was a little tight, we managed to build the frame all the way inside here. First we welded the corners, and then we added the flat bars across the frame, and you can maybe see that in a few times we checked the cross measure of the whole thing. It started to look surprisingly good. After the frame was complete, we took it out from that welding room. Okay, here we go. We managed to get it out from this room. Now we're moving it with this crane over there. And next job is to figure out some reasonably flat spot to lay it down on its back, and then we can weld the beams. So you can see there, these flat bars are little tight there, but they will straighten up when we get it flat on its back and put the beams and weld them together. Now we'll change for a bit larger crane. Now it's on this crane, and now we'll move it this way or that way. Let's see. Now we have the table upside down here. It is as flat as we can make it right now, and next we're going to weld the beams across this way. And I'm going to go and prepare those. The L-shaped steel frame has this small radius inside there, so we have to take a bit off from all of these cross beams so we can fit them there properly. And this is the one beam I have taken off the corner here. We have this hefty weight here. That's solid steel. This might weigh more than this whole table together. Now the beams are in, and the basic structure for this table is now complete. And I think this is for it for today. It's actually Finnish Independence Day today, so we're heading home after this. But next stage is to put these main beams below here on top of the table. And when those are in, it's ready to go for machining. A couple of days later, I received these few wobbly video clips where they installed the main beams to the frame. I wasn't able to be there that day, but now the frame was complete. Right now we're waiting for some parts to arrive so that we can make the final plans for machining these surfaces. I already have the rails for the linear carriages, and we have to do some modification for these because I couldn't order them in single piece, so we have to machine these ends to fit two of these next to each other. The idea here is that now when this thing is all welded up and complete, it won't move anymore, so we don't weld it anymore. And now we can machine these surfaces, this beam top and other side as well, to fit these rails and also the rack on the side there. So we can machine them very precisely so that they are completely straight and completely flat, and so that the machine itself can be very accurate. This surface really doesn't matter because there's going to be sacrificial board here, and it will be machined with the machine itself as flat as these rails are. So the position of these rails is crucial. But right now I'm going to go into the welding room and make these legs for this table. I'm going to build 6 legs that will be bolted in this frame, and they can be removed easily to make this a little easier to move around. As you may know, I don't yet have even a place for put this thing, so looking forward to that. But yeah, let's go into that welding room and take a look at those legs. So we're here in the welding room, and this is one of the legs just laying down here. All these parts I designed it with the CAD, and they were pre-cut in the accurate measures, so it should be quite straightforward here to weld these together. I put this quite hefty plywood board here, so it's all straight and nice, and I have this square here to make it accurate, and that's it. So these are the 4 legs welded up. I'm kind of suck as welder, but luckily I'm not doing the boat from steel. So yeah, these are the corner legs, and the middle legs are slightly different. I should go and take a look at the drawings, what I have designed before I put the 2 remaining legs together. Okay, the legs are basically done, and I hope there's 2 of each. Otherwise I'm screwed. Next, I'm going to cut some additional steel to make end caps for all these leg ends, so I can fit the adjustable leg through that cap piece. So let's go to do that. So this is the end cap number 1, and it's 6 of these. I purchased these rubber legs that have thread on them, and this will thread in these caps so they will hold the machine, and they can be adjusted to level the machine initially. Now there's nothing but putting the holes in these, and this is quite thick steel, so I have to be a little careful with these. As it happens, I'm so lucky that I have this amazing workshop at my disposal right now. So here we have kind of bunch of different drill bits, and also this table here that shows that we have a M12 M12 thread, and the hole should be 10.3 to 10.441 millimeters. So now we have just to take a right drill bit. So here we have 10.3 right there. But before we take the actual bit, we make smaller hole to initially make the hole, because this is hard steel. So let's take something like 4.8. Start with this one. It's also important to make good initial tap with this tool to make the drill bit really start in the right position. So it's really nice to work with sharp drill and good quality drill bit. It was quite an easy job. Okay, now we have the initial hole drilled with this smaller bit, and now I take a big bit and drill the rest of the hole. So now the drill bit will find its place. Or not. Whoa, that's a bummer. Quite a bit more challenging to drill hole this big. Okay, they're done now. Next job is to make the threads, but before that, make some countersink. Just a small taper on the edges to get the thread tool go there smoothly. Just like this. So next, I'm going to make a thread into this hole with this threading tool. It's for M12, so 12 millimeter thread, which is for these legs. No, I already made one and tested that it worked perfectly. So this hole is quite big, so it takes some force to use this thing, but I wouldn't do this with machine. Now it goes. Yeah, after making 4.5 of these, my uncle said, "Why did you take that bigger one?" Yeah, a little bit more easier with this. And faster. Legs are now done. Their cap is there, welded up, and now I can fit the adjustable leg in here. They're all fine now. I'm not sure yet if we're gonna bolt them or weld them in, but we'll see about that. Router table is moving, and we can try the legs, how they fit into this thing. So this leg should fit right in here. And it won't. That's because we did put this beam on the wrong side. It should be here. But it's okay, I think we could change these legs over here. They remind me of something. Oh, they remind me of my plan, which is weird because as an architect, I rarely see anything built as I planned, so it's not perfect fit. That's mainly because there is this small radius inside here, so the leg won't go all the way back there. And also there's weld in the corner. I think it could be a better idea to actually weld these legs in. These middle legs, there's a bit of a gap. It moves just slightly, so it could be easier that way, that we just fit them in like this and then we weld them. But we can't do that before we have machined that, because otherwise this thing with the legs in won't fit in that machine. So the original plan was to bolt these legs in, but I think it can be challenged to really get the parts close enough and on all sides. But we'll get back into this later. Right before Christmas I ordered some parts for the CNC router. Let's see what's in the box here. I have already opened it, but yeah. First part is here. This is the ball screw for the x-axis. It's 1.9 meter long about. This will move the gantry in the horizontal. And then there's a bunch of these carriages. They are all similar, 8 of these, the bigger ones, and 4 slightly smaller for the z-axis that goes up and down. They should be reasonable good quality. Then there is this shorter ball screw for the z-axis, and then there is a bunch of these linear rails for moving the gantry in y direction and x direction. The longer the y-axis consists of 2 of these, putting them next to each other. So we have to check out the ends here. If you open this just a bit, you can see that the end has been cut in length, but they also sanded this end. So I'm not sure if that carriage can go over this round edge. So we may have to shorten these just a couple of mils, really get the 2 right against each other. But we'll see about that a little later. That's it for this package. There's just more rails and more carriages, but they're all here now, so I think that's it for this video. We're gone quite a long trip already. We are welded this table, the legs, and now we're just waiting for the rest of the parts to arrive so that we can machine those surfaces, and then after that we can put these legs in. Remember to subscribe and leave a like as well. We'll continue on the next video building this, and this whole winter and spring is going to be really exciting. Designing the boat, designing the shed, and building the shed later in the spring, in the summer. And hopefully this machine will find its place in the shed. So I'm really excited right now. It's looking very good, better than I could hope, and we'll see you back soon. And also you can go and check out the t-shirts and hoodies. They are awesome, they are good quality. I've used them now quite a while, and all the revenue will go for supporting this project. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like and ask me anything you have in your mind, and we'll get back into this soon. As you can see, this is quite a big thingy. And the tool they use is this beast here. So if we step in here, you can probably see that the camera angle isn't enough to get all the work area here. Yeah, this is better. So basically they just fitted the whole table into this jig, which is made from horribly thick steel, and the machining head is right over there. So it's like industrial machine that has like 4 meters of clearance. They can work with this. I was quite lucky that I had this machine at my disposal. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be here during the week, so I only got these small video clips from the process, but I tried to explain what they did. First, they of course fitted the frame to the machine. Second step was to measure the table for any inaccuracies. There was about 7 mils curve from the end to the middle, so before machining they heated the steel beams to straighten them enough. And lastly, they machined a few millimeters off from the both of the surfaces and drilled all the holes for the rails and racks. The main reason to do the work like this was to get these surfaces as flat as possible and also related to each other, so these should be now completely straight and completely flat on both sides relative for each other. So when we put these rails here, they should be completely accurate, or completely is a strong word, but as accurate as possible, and it's definitely accurate enough for this purpose. So there was only minor issues with the shape of this table. So one of these beams, we take a look at here, it has 80 millimeters thickness. One of them was slightly curved, so you can maybe see here some marks. They used just some blowtorch to heat the steel and bend it back so that there would be enough material on the center to machine it, so there would be enough thickness to get the screw holes and threads on those. But it went quite well. Of course, this has been kind of handmade, so there was slight inaccuracy also relative to the direction of these beams, but not that much that it would have been a problem. I'm actually quite surprised and proud that we got it that well done, just with hand tools and measured by hand. In addition to machining the surface, they also did all the required holes for attaching this linear rail and rack that is coming on this side. So as you can see, align this hole there, and they are all perfectly aligned, so that's just amazing. Another thing that they did here last week was to cut these rails into length so that they would fit perfectly against each other. So the edge here is also machined so that it's perfectly straight, and the other rail will fit perfectly against this one. I still don't have the racks, but I'm going to get them maybe next week, and we're going to make holes for the rack to fit here. Yeah, this is looking very good. Now I think I'll try to temporarily attach this rail and one to the other side and check the length between, so I can finish my plans for the gantry. And here comes the hero. So let's try this ending again. I was a little excited of the machining part, so I wanted to get it into this part already. It was a little bummer that I wasn't able to be there when they machined the table, but the main thing is that it's now complete and it's very good. I want to thank all of you for watching, and especially I want to thank Paul, who's the first patron of mine, and I'm just thrilled about that. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next video in somewhere near future, and until then, take care, be safe, and we'll see you again. Bye!